Business problems are people problems in disguise. We know this. And today's guest turns psychological insight into practical fixes for leadership, for hiring, for culture, and for retention. I'm Sim Payne Powell. I'm a fractional HR director, chartered MCIPD, and over the past 25 years, I've worked in senior HR roles across 16 countries. I've partnered with founders and leaders and supporting them and employees to build workplaces that they actually love. I'm here to challenge bad HR, the kind of HR that protects systems instead of people, and it gives my profession a bad name. So today's guest on the Founder Specialist series is Mary Luu, and she is the founder of the Business Psycho, a project that translates business psychology into everyday changes, and she's a practitioner of business and organizational psychology. She helps organizations to turn behavioral insight into measurable outcomes. Um, she works at the intersection of psychology, HR, and strategy, and she helps to diagnose cultural problems, designing simple interventions, and helping teams to make decisions that actually stick and work. Today, we're going to cover the blind spots that leaders miss, the quick wins that you can apply this week, and how to make culture work show up in your numbers. Mary, thank you so much for joining me. I always say when I have guests on that I'm so excited, and every show that we do and every interview that I do, I'm always really excited to meet with founders that have started work in different sectors and areas that can have an impact on business. So thanks very much for joining me. I
Yes,
have a
thank you.
bunch of questions for you today. I'm not going to bombard you, but I'm hoping that we can get through quite a lot of them for the people that view.
Mhm.
So I want to hear a bit about your journey. Like, what drew you into like business and organizational psychology?
First of all, thank you so much for having me. I
Oh, you're
mean, I'm
welcome.
very excited to be here today and share about things that I'm really, passionate about. And about my journey, I
Mm,
think I take it personal.
okay.
So I has always been a very sensitive person.
Hmm.
So I feel emotions really strongly.
Yeah,
And that is like one thing that leads me into why do people feel like that? And
got
why do
you.
they do what they do?
Hmm.
And then another thing is that I joined a nationwide psychology solution competitions in the
Wow.
past.
Yeah.
And luckily, I don't know, I won the third prize.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and that is my first encounter
Yeah.
ever to psychology. And I was thinking, maybe I kind of fit into this field.
Got you.
Yeah, and so that's why I'm kind of like, okay, maybe I should invest in psychology.
Yeah.
And I also have a background in business management, business
Wow.
administration as well.
Yeah.
So I would like something that in between, like something
Joins it
that,
together.
yeah,
Hmm.
combined
Yeah.
business, psychology together. And definitely it's something that is very much important in the workplace.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
that's why it leads me to this one. So I think the more I learned about it, the
Wow.
more interesting it's become.
Yeah. I
And
love that.
yeah, before I know it, I already
Yeah.
one foot into it.
I love
Yeah.
that. So, when did you realize that like business and organizational psychology could change like organizations, like from the smallest to the largest ones at scale? Like, when did you realize it could have a significant impact?
Well, I think it's because of observation.
Hmm.
So it's very common when you see things that is repeatedly
Right.
happened,
Yeah.
and that it's something that's on repeat.
Yeah.
Like when people having stress and they burn out at work,
Hmm.
it eventually leads to I cannot work here anymore.
Yeah.
I have to leave.
Yeah. Might have to go. Yeah.
Yeah. So that is the case. I think it's always happened. If it's not,
Hmm.
they would have mental health problems
Yeah.
and something that leaves the impact
Hmm.
like for long term.
Yeah.
So it's always something that we observe every day,
Yeah.
and it's on repeat.
Yeah.
So having business and occupational psychology that can interfere, something that can do an impact to
Right.
change
To
it,
change it.
definitely something I can think
Yeah.
can put into business and can be, have an impact at scales.
At scale.
Yeah.
Side question, because I always have these side questions that pop into my
Yeah.
head. You know, the next question I have is around like engagement and how it impacts engagement. But like across what you've seen so far, when you go into these businesses and you might see staff that are burning out or the data, because excuse me, data often gives you a picture as well when you're looking into things, right? And you see that data, like what is the first thing that normally gives you a little bit of an insight that something's not quite right? Like, is it the engagement? Is it like sickness and attrition? Is it what normally gives you like okay, there's something underlying happening within this company?
I think it's very much about how people act.
Mm-hmm.
So how people act with a certain people in the group, like
Yeah.
meetings,
Yeah.
and how they act outside the meeting.
Yeah.
So yeah, very much again, it's observations first.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that it's psychologically, show.
Yeah.
So you don't have to. You can't pretend it actually.
Yeah. You can't do it. So like you see how people are acting, and then it links back to the data points that you might see when you're reviewing
Yeah.
the numbers.
Yeah.
Say like somebody like me comes along with my data stack and says like, here are the numbers of everybody that's left. Here are the numbers of the people that have joined. Here are the numbers of people that are off sick. So you would put the two together. That gives you a holistic picture
Yeah.
of
It's
what's going
definitely
on.
like something you see,
Yeah.
and then it's basically through survey,
Yeah.
anonymous surveys,
Mm-hmm.
you can see the incongruent
Yeah.
between how they act outside
Yeah.
and how they actually express themselves through
Got
the
you.
surveys.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's about numbers,
Yeah.
data that you can see, also something that you can observe
Yeah.
outside. Yeah.
It makes sense because like you can, like a lot of people don't realize that you can see how leadership are, how the business is through those numbers. A lot of people think about HR, stats, statistics, data. Sometimes it's not included in the team meetings at all. And other times it's a slide that's right at the end of the deck that nobody's paying attention to because it's 4 o'clock on a Thursday and they want to get to the dinner and drinks, right?
Yeah.
But like, it's so important because those data points, and if HR present them properly with what you're saying with the psychology behind it,
Yeah.
it can show like a clear impact of what's going on in the business, teams and departments that may be under pressure or unhappy, or things that are generally going on, you know? So, in your experience, where do most organizations kind of confuse engagement, like real happiness, like, yay, the whole company's happy, with like real psychological safety? And then a follow-up question to that is, what does this mistake kind of cost them later on down the line?
Right. So I think there are lots of aspects that we can see and can view from, either observations or data.
Yeah.
But I want to specifically mention presenteeism.
Yes.
So it's basically physically present, but unable to efficiently or effectively work.
Yeah.
So I called it mentally clocked out.
Which makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so your body is still there,
Yeah.
but your mind's probably
Somewhere
elsewhere.
else, just you're running on autopilot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's more insidious
Yeah.
than leaders could realize. So I
Yeah.
think it's on the surface, it looks like engagement.
Mm-hmm.
So they have full attendance. They the heads down, no complaints,
Yeah.
and little communications. And
Mhm.
I think a leader might see the optics only,
Right.
but not what actually happens.
Got
So
you.
yeah, basically, it has all of the aspect of I am very engaged
Yeah.
in the work or in this meeting,
Right.
but it's basically just people suppress themselves mentally.
Mhm.
And this is where exactly psychological safety kicks in.
Got
Because
you.
I think when employees doesn't feel safe to express themselves, like
Mhm.
I'm struggling, or I disagree,
Yeah.
or I needed support,
Mhm.
then their default change is gonna be silence
Got you. Yeah.
and compliance. And I think they would stay present to avoid judgment only, not
Mhm.
just about, yes, I'm knowing everything, I don't need anyone
Any help
helps.
or support. And then obviously the follow-up was like, you've got somebody or you've got a team that are sat there, and it is full on presenteeism. They're sat there. What does that mistake cost a company like later on down the line? What are the implications of that?
Yeah, I think the cost is loaded. One of the things that you can maybe see, right, it's there down the
Mhm.
lines
Mhm.
immediately is productivities.
Right.
So, of course, when the person who is mentally not there,
Mhm.
and you know, they have these things going on,
Mhm.
but they can't produce the same quality of critical thinking,
Yeah.
creativities,
Got
and
you.
problem solving as someone who feels genuinely safe
Safe.
and
Yeah.
motivated.
Mhm.
So definitely it's productivity. And after that, I
Yeah.
think the aftermath is the retention crisis,
Got
of
you.
course. When when people just suppress themselves too much, I think they were trying to find a way to
Mhm.
get out of it.
Got
And
you.
one of the safest and viable, most viable
Mhm.
solution is to go, to leave the company.
Yeah.
So I think it's like I feel like it's body reaction to threats.
To
That's
threat.
what I think.
It's a
Yeah.
little bit like flight or fright, flight or fight or flight.
Yeah.
You can't, as an employee, you're mentally kind of checking out. So as you said, they're there, they're not saying anything. They can see a myriad of issues that are wrong, but they know either it's not going to be dealt with, or if they mention it, there is going to be some kind of negative feedback
Mm-hmm.
towards
That's
them,
true.
you know? And like I've seen it where like staff, half a team will go out sick.
Mm,
So then the people that are left are presentees, but they know that they can't really leave or go out because then everything's going to fall apart. So it just creates more stress. And then you see those people, they end up leaving because they're like, I'm fed up of carrying
that's true.
everything,
Yeah.
which is not great. So, you know, in your mind, when like you've got a business that is trying to build a great culture, is trying to create psychological safety, do you think that incentives and recognition programs sometimes make the culture worse? Like, does like that praise become like counterintuitive?
Mm. You know, when thinking about incentive and
Hmm.
then promotions, I always think that is a good thing.
Yeah,
And you know, if it's there, it's good. I'm rooting for it.
yeah.
But I think more importantly is how people achieve the
Mhm.
recognitions and the
Mhm.
incentive
Yeah.
matter.
Okay.
Um, saying this way, it's because the incentive recognitions are the aftermath.
Hmm.
So I think it's supposed to be like a reward when you have done an excellent job.
Yeah.
But it's not like something that you have to do whatever it takes
Hmm.
to achieve it.
Yeah.
So I'm saying about a bribery, something like
Got you.
relationships
Hmm.
that is, you know, kind of inappropriate
Yeah.
in a way. So of course, people who working with you, your colleague,
Hmm.
can see, okay, this is actually happening and I'm doing the same efforts,
Yeah.
but why am I not receiving the same things?
Things. Yeah.
Then it creates something, is like, I'm calling it unhealthy
Yeah.
competitiveness
Hmm.
in the workplace.
Yeah.
And another thing is, I think it's how achievable the incentive,
Yes.
and is it worthy or not?
Yeah.
Because I was thinking is in this circumstances where you're trying to create an incentive that is impossible to achieve,
Got you.
then it's something that more like a burden, and
Yeah.
something sounds more like a bluff to people.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
it's not obtainable in any way,
Mhm.
shape, or form.
Yeah, so you just create it,
Yeah.
just like you put it there and then you show it, display it for
Hmm.
everyone to see,
Yeah.
but it's literally just not attainable.
Yeah. I mean, I've worked with over the last 15, 20 years, I've worked with like sales teams and stuff, and you hear like them complaining because like the commission is going to be great, but the target that they have to achieve
Hmm.
to get that commission is sometimes in their mind out of this world and not easily obtainable. And then what happens is they're working really, really hard. They're trying their best to hit that
That's right.
target
That's
number,
right.
and they might get to like 60, 70, 80% of that.
Yeah.
And the business sees that as a fail. And then that incentive becomes like, as you said, it becomes something that creates more,
Like a burden.
stress,
Yeah.
more burden, instead of something that is literally like, yes, 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 this is amazing. I'm going to be able to hit it. And I get that every goal you need to have stretch goals.
Hmm.
Stretch goals like make us more excited because it's something that takes us a little bit past
That's right.
where we want to be. But when a stretch goal becomes like a mile goal or an
Hmm.
unobtainable goal, yeah, definitely what you're saying. It becomes exceedingly hard. Like when you think about it in ways of when people build these, like, oh my gosh, we've got half day Friday and we've got bean bags in the office and
Yeah.
you can have free tea and coffee. Do you feel that then leadership gets a little bit lazy? They get lazy because they don't feel like they have to ask somebody if they're okay, or actually ask them questions relevant to their performance or how they're doing or what else the business can do. Because sometimes I feel like you get thrown a load of different benefits and rewards and stuff,
Mm.
obtainable or unobtainable, and then the leadership kind of steps back because they feel like they've done
Done enough.
everything. Yeah, they've done enough. Do you kind of get that feeling sometimes?
Oof. I think yeah, it's
Mm.
like something that they was like, yeah, so I give everything for you. I don't have to do. I'm gonna exclude myself from this.
Yeah.
But uh, I think the most important thing is also the communication and the interactions
Hmm.
between you, your subordinates.
Yeah.
So within the team itself,
Hmm.
still needs an interactions, encouragement,
Yeah.
or anything like feedback
Yeah.
from your manager.
Hmm.
So that is one of the bonding and rewarding things,
Got you.
not just the I think
Yeah.
the physical one, the one that you already
Yeah.
see, it's already there.
Hmm.
But I think the interactions between humans would be much, much more
Better.
important. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think they definitely do. I feel like some businesses are like, here, have a beanbag.
Yeah.
And you're sitting there going, feedback, connection.
Hmm.
Can I get to know you? So, what's a common kind of hiring or promotion practice that kind of looks fair on paper, but it reinforces bias or like poor culture?
Hmm. I went through a research, and I
Hmm.
went through several research
Yeah,
on the internet, and I bumped into the word culture ad.
I love that word.
Yeah, and I was like, yes. When
Yeah.
I look back,
Hmm.
I was like, yes, it's true.
Yeah.
I know that you wanted your team to gel and you want people to share the same values who work well together,
Yeah.
and that makes sense. The culture fit has, I think, has always been creating a uniformed, well collaborated team
Yeah.
to maximize performance or productivities. But I remember reading this from a blog, is that too much culture is genuinely
Yeah.
the death of creativity.
Everybody is the same.
Yeah. So everyone's agreed.
Yeah.
Everyone has quite of the same idea.
Yeah.
And so, we're talking about diversities in not just, human in general, but also in thoughts,
Yeah.
in the way you work or the way you interact with each other. So I think creativity is something that could be limited when
Yeah.
you have only culture fit.
Fit. Yeah.
And one thing more important is that I see this conflict when they say in the hiring, in the job description,
Yeah.
they value diversity.
Yes.
But then down the line, you're looking for people who aligns with you.
Right.
And so diversity and then trying to find people who aligns with you, it's
Two different
it's a
things in
conflict.
one. Yeah. Two different things in one job description.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for people who are, could be a diversity plus to your
Yeah.
teams, stick with it.
Yeah.
I
Own
think
it.
that is like the very important things. And nowadays, culture ad would be much more, comments and
Yeah.
everything, which brings a lot more benefits than the culture fit.
I think it definitely does. And like for those that are watching that don't know what culture ad is, culture ad is where you've interviewed somebody and you're hiring them on the merits of what they will add to your business, not the fact that they're exactly the same as everybody else already on your team, which is a culture fit. And what we see is when we use the word culture fit, we end up excluding a range of people that can actually do the job, but they're just not like the rest of the team that are already there. So say you've got a team and they've all got blonde hair and somebody comes along with black hair, you decide that you're not going to hire them because they've got black hair instead of the blonde, even though they could do the job. So what we're saying to leaders are, you literally do need to change the job descriptions. Instead of saying we want somebody that's going to fit our culture, you say we want somebody that's going to add to our culture or is a culture add going forward, because like it is so important. And I feel like so many businesses still don't actually get that, and they don't actually realize that they're discriminating or like losing talent that's going to add so much to their business, so if you were the chief culture officer at a high growth startup, what three kind of non-negotiable policies would you put in place to make sure that the business ran properly?
Yeah. So I think this side of me where like neurodiversity advocates
Yeah.
and very much about business psychologies, I was thinking firstly is psychological safety
Yeah.
in action.
Perfect.
So it's basically is to create an environment where people feel safe
Yeah.
to express themselves, express idea, voice the idea, and have disagreement without feeling that, oh, I'm guilty
Yeah.
or I'm actually doing something wrong.
Or I'm gonna lose my job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly it. So yeah, it's a very important thing that I want it to be in actions.
Yeah.
And not just like a presenting policy. It's not just being there
Yeah.
for,
The sake of it.
yeah, the sake of it. The second thing I was thinking of, no meeting without
Yeah.
an agenda and no decisions without an owner.
Yeah.
So
I
it's
love that.
about transparency
Yes.
at work.
Yes.
That is something that I'm I'm trying, like, I'm working towards it. I
Yeah.
am working like that as well.
Okay. Yeah.
Because it's the transparency in the process
That's it.
and communications and task. So you should have sufficient trainings
Yeah.
before, like, they officially worked, and then give support,
Yeah.
give feedbacks and constructive feedback.
Yeah.
So everything is,
It's
transparent.
transparent.
Yeah.
And I think you saying that, and literally, I just had this vision. It's the worst thing when you get a meeting invite and there's nothing in it apart from catch up or like update, and you're just like, what's it for? And like your heart can beat. I work in HR and my heart still beats when I get random meetings where there's nothing in it. Like what am I about to walk into? Because it can be anything from the happiest day of somebody's life to them having the worst day or something's going on and you're just trying to figure it out. So it does make sense to make sure that there is always an agenda and always an owner, because it creates that psychological safety. The person then walks into the meeting knowing exactly what is expected of them, instead of
Exactly.
if somebody, as we're talking about presenteeism, you're at work, you're already stressed out, and then you get an invite that might just say update or catch up
Yeah.
with nothing in it, might be the thing that actually tips you over the edge, I'm calling in sick, I can't deal with
Yeah.
it. So it makes complete sense.
Okay, yeah, and I think that there's a lot of times when people can get way many meetings,
Yeah,
and some have way
yeah.
less number of meetings.
hmm
And the fact that every week you have like 3 to 4 meetings
Yeah,
for absolutely no
yeah.
significant reason,
Yes.
that is, I think, is a combined stress
It's a drain.
for individuals.
It
Yeah.
is a drain. I think my last role, I literally spent, and I'm not even lying, 20 to 25 hours a week in meetings at all times of day and night. And then every single one of those meetings, there's a deliverable that comes out of that. Well, most of them, I say 90%, there's a deliverable that you have to do. And then there's the 10%, which this could have been an email and this would have been great. I don't need to be sat here. And that meeting, that time could have been spent on the deliverables from the other 90% that I have to deliver. So I fully get that. Like, build a culture where, does this actually need to be a meeting? Like, and if it does need to be a meeting, am I being crystal clear about what we're meeting about to make sure I'm not creating anxiety or stress in a person, and building that that unsafety that people are feeling,
That's
you know?
true. And I think the last thing is
Mm,
to protect the weekend.
yeah,
So no emails or sudden calls
yeah.
unless it's really like emergency.
hmm
Because I think that there was a lot of time people worked overtimes
Yeah,
and they cannot let go
yeah,
their work even though that they are in the weekends.
yeah.
And also, like we mentioned about meetings where you're already mentally drained,
hmm
then you have to bring that again into your
into your
weekends as
time
well.
where you're trying to do it, and
Yeah.
evenings as well. And I get it. Like, we are now at the point, when I started work, it wasn't that easy to connect with somebody in Australia or connect with somebody in LA or connect with somebody in New York. You had to schedule a time and you could make it work within hours. Now, with like the advent of technology, just in leaps, bounds, leaps, bounds, leaps, bounds, your phone is a way that somebody can literally call you on Teams on your phone. You don't even have to be anywhere near your laptop. So the calls can come in at 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night. I've done calls at 1 a.m. and 3 a.m. because that's the only time that everybody else is available. So it's me set up, in my pajamas at night at my desk, like talking to people. Or if there's an emergency, I've had the 3 a.m. call, like something going wrong in a country, and I'm just like, right, okay. And I'm literally sat there talking to people at 3 a.m. saying, right, I will get hold of X, Y, and Z and I'll fix it. But you're right, that causes a tiredness, and it causes a drain because you're literally tired for the next day to go into the office and then
Yeah.
walk into all those meetings
Exactly.
that you've now got to deal with and contend with on the other side. So I fully get that. So you have started the website, the Business Psycho,
Yeah.
which is amazing. Tell us a little bit about the Business Psycho and what you're most proud of about it.
Yeah. So the Business Cycle is a blog website
Mhm.
where we share blogs about around frameworks, topics that is business or occupational psychology and
Yeah.
HR related,
Perfect.
so that the goal is to provide knowledge or tips, tricks, or just small psychology things
Yeah.
that people can read through. They
Mhm.
can have little knowledge
Mhm.
and have some values that they
Yeah.
can apply it into their work. And
Perfect.
I also have the pathway sections
Mhm.
where we trying to like display one or some of the way
Yeah.
to get into business psychology, occupational psychology field.
Amazing.
So mostly our target audience is students and who is business psychology enthusiast
Yeah.
or early career people
Yeah.
who not really interested in this but not really know how to do it.
Got you.
Because I myself have been that person before,
Yeah.
and I see that navigating the way to find support
Mhm.
is it's very hard. And I know that
Yeah.
you're young, you don't have a lot of connections,
Mhm.
and so yeah, I just wanted to give you
Yeah.
the one of the way that I do to get into this, and I wanted to share with you.
Got it.
And the thing that I'm proud the most is the last sections would be the forum sections, where
Mhm.
it's a space where they can ask the questions, any questions related to the field,
Yeah.
and get an answer from the experts who are 5, 10 to 25 plus years of experience in the field.
Mhm.
Because I think accessibility is important.
Yeah.
And if you have curiosity about the field and you have a questions,
Mhm.
it should be
It
answered
should be answered.
and free. Like
Mhm.
definitely, like you are in the positions where you are very new to everything
Right.
and you are at the very early stage of
That's it.
your career.
Yeah.
So I think having it accessible, free, and just help a little bit, added any values
Mhm.
to them. I think it's totally
It's
good for me.
amazing.
Yeah.
I think it's really, really amazing. What I love is you said it covers students, it covers early career
Yeah.
HR, it covers people that might be standalone and have a random question that maybe they just need an answer because they haven't got anybody around them
Mhm.
to discuss that with. Because more and more we're seeing HR as a standalone role, especially more so with the advent of AI. They don't feel that they need to hire support or people. You can run the whole end-to-end life cycle by yourself.
Mm.
So having a free blog website where you can get those questions answered is pretty much amazing,
Mhm.
you know. So what do you want people to take away from when they look at the website, they know about you? What would you like people to take away from that?
I think it's just a message. Um,
Mm,
it's there. Like I'm trying to provide,
yeah,
anything that is helpful.
yeah,
So I'm really hope that they can take away any of the values that we're trying to
right.
offer.
Hmm.
So the knowledge we're trying to put into our blogs,
Yeah.
you can take that. And I just wanted to say that
Hmm.
frameworks, modules, it sounds very, theoretical,
Yeah.
but it's actually applied in the workplace.
That's it. You can download the theory, you can
Yeah.
understand it, and then you can take that away and you can test it out wherever
Mhm.
you are.
Yeah.
Because obviously it changes. Like you can change it and tweak it to wherever you're working or wherever you are at that point in time.
Yeah, it's definitely like try
Yeah,
to apply it and try to see if it's correct, if it's
yeah,
true or not.
I love
Because
that.
that's the fun of
That's the fun of
psychology.
psychology, seeing
Yeah.
if things kind of work out. So, like, if we think about like psychology and testing things out, like we have a lot of people that contact us that they talk about toxic leadership. They talk about, meetings where, they're not always good or they're not always championing positive behaviors. So what's a behavior in meetings or when we see leadership that looks normal, but it signals that there's a toxic culture?
Hmm. I think it's 80% of the times where the leaders speak the most,
Hmm.
and then the rest is it's everyone agreeing to that.
Yeah.
So you have a leader where they lead, that's amazing.
Hmm.
At the same time, it's not like I'm telling you what to do,
Yeah.
but it's rather you have some idea, please bring it to me.
Me. Yeah.
And if you disagree,
Hmm.
please say it.
Yeah.
So I think it's like open to discussions, open to have like disagreement
Yeah.
in work is it's definitely essential things
That's
and it's
it.
beneficial.
Yeah.
And definitely it can signal micromanagement
Yeah.
when you are, you lead people, but you actually manage them.
Hmm.
And I think there are two very different
Yeah.
side of things, like leading and managing
Managing.
is quite different.
Yeah.
And so are you leading people or are you managing people?
Yeah. I've worked in organizations where you could get really great leaders, right? And the great leaders are great because they have self-reflection,
Mhm.
they're open to having feedback, and they're willing to hear it. And that's what makes them great because they want to hear from their organization and their organization feels safe enough to share it. Yeah. So it doesn't have to be an engagement survey
Mhm.
or a specific time.
That's right.
It's just an open door policy at all times, whether it be a town hall, whether it be a general catch up, whether it be I catch you and we're walking past, like, and send me an email. Those leaders are great leaders. And on the flip side of that, I've seen what you're saying, I've worked with the other where like you tell them something is an issue and they say, no, it is not.
Mm.
Like no room for discussion whatsoever. There is nothing wrong. And you're like, right, when was the last time you spoke to a member of staff? And they'd be like, well, they haven't said anything.
Mhm.
You're just like, right, well then that tells you a lot. If nobody said a word to you and you haven't gone and checked,
Mhm.
then that shows that you are not a great leader.
Yeah.
Or the employees disagree, they're disagreeing when the leader's not around, and when the leader comes back then they acquiesce and they all agree. And I've seen that in firsthand, and it's really shocking to see at times because you're like, wow, like the change of atmosphere and attitude is massive.
Mhm. Yeah,
It
it's
is
always
really
the
big.
small things
Yeah,
that matters.
yeah,
Doesn't have to be something grand.
massive. Yeah, doesn't have to be like a massive thing. So like, if there was one thing that you wanted a leader or a founder to try this week to build psychological safety, to make their workplace a great place to work, what would it be?
Well, I mean, the first thing that's come into my mind is go to the pub. I was like, yeah, maybe get your teams,
Yeah,
go to the pub,
yeah,
have a drinks and
yeah,
just that. I think within that very casual
yeah.
environment,
Hmm.
you actually can open up to talk about things that
Hmm.
you might feel, uncomfortable about.
Yeah,
But in that environment, Probably it's gonna ease it down a little bit.
As a HR person,
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily agreeing, but having a relaxed
Yeah.
conversation, and I get you checking in with the team in an atmosphere that maybe is not in the workplace, or even if it's a lunch,
That's
go out
right.
to lunch or whatever else, and having that chat, right?
Yeah.
And just connecting with people, like a drink's always great. But if you can't do that, obviously on work time, or you don't drink in working hours, the option is like go out and have a lunch, right?
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
build that connection.
It's like just have a casual
Yeah.
talk,
Hmm.
like how's everything?
Yeah.
And in your workplace you can just be open about
Yeah.
your emotions and stuff.
Hmm.
And after the workplace, it's not necessarily that you keep it work is work,
Yeah.
but I think you can actually be friends
Hmm.
outside the
Hmm.
work. And if that is like a ideal
Yeah.
stage, I
A
feel.
deal, an ideal
Yeah,
scenario. Yeah.
because I have a best friend at work thing,
Hmm.
and I think that is amazing.
Yeah.
And even though that I stopped working there, I still talk to her,
Yeah.
and we still have like lots of catch up. We share so many things in common, and that's the things that I remember the
Yeah.
most.
Yeah.
So having that, emotional supports and having a
Hmm.
best friend at work is definitely a good
It's
thing.
always a good
Yeah,
thing, somebody to
it's
connect
good.
with at work, And I think also like those offsite conversations or those relaxed conversations, it's also about remembering that work is part of a person,
Mm-hmm.
and like there is so much to a person that happens outside of work, and actually remembering when their birthday is, like things that they hate, things that they might struggle with, things that they've told you as a leader or a founder, goes a long way for building that psychological safety. You coming in and asking them about something that they told you they had at the weekend, or somebody coming back and having a proper phased return to work, feels like a hug from a leader, like they've remembered, and I'm not as anxious as I thought I would be coming back. All of those things are massive and always needed, and I think so constructive for
Mm-hmm.
people. So
Yeah.
yeah. So where can our viewers find the Business Psycho and the resources that you share?
Yeah, so we have a LinkedIn page
Perfect.
named The Business Cycle, and we also have an Instagram page is the Business Cycle dot officials.
Hmm.
So we are all active in those two sites,
Yeah.
and definitely the website is linked on both
Okay.
social media,
Pages.
so you can always find me there.
Perfect. Mary, thank you so much. It's amazing. Like psychological safety, this is what we want leaders and founders to
Yeah.
remember. You get your hires in and you create a atmosphere of psychological safety. So you can find the rest of the Founder Specialist series on the Take Flight HR YouTube channel. Please subscribe so you don't miss any episodes. There's also a free Flight HR audit where you can benchmark where your business currently stands. You get a free PDF report immediately, and it's understandable. So please go ahead and take it. And it gives you a clear action plan of what you need to look at or fix first. Could be culture, could be policies, could be anything else. So go ahead and take that. And thank you so much for joining us today.